Hello, this is Chris from the Mobile Internet Resource Center. Back in May, we pushed out an urgent alert warning people about the update to DirecTV Now, the app for iPhones and iPads that allows streaming of DirecTV content, because it broke HDMI output. HDMI output, for those who haven't been paying attention, is using the lightning port on the bottom of an iPad or an iPhone to output HDMI via a lightning to HDMI adapter to a bigger screen TV. And we've long recommended that as a great tip for taking advantage of unlimited on-device data to stream your shows and still have them on a big screen without having to use any tethering data. It's been a great trick, but that assumes that HDMI is working, and, well, DirecTV Now broke that. There was some debate of whether this was an intentional policy change and whether DirecTV was removing HDMI support or whether it was a bug. And, well, fortunately it is a bug, and as of this week the DirecTV Now 2.1 update fixes that. So if you've been holding off on updating your app, feel free, go ahead. You now can have HDMI out again, and we've been testing it. It works really, really well. They've actually fixed a lot of the other bugs, and the app seems faster and more stable than it ever has in the past. So this is a good way to get your fix of DirecTV onto a bigger screen without using any data. Now, speaking of using any data, AT&T, which owns DirecTV, is also now rolling out what they're calling data-free TV. This is an expansion of a policy they've had in place for a long time of, on AT&T's limited data plans, DirecTV Now and DirecTV streaming did not count against your monthly data limits. Now they're actually changing this so that it also, on unlimited plans, does not count against your network management threshold. So on AT&T there's a 22 gigabyte threshold, and after you've passed that in usage for a month, your usage, your plan, your speeds might be slowed down when the network near you is congested, when the tower you're on is congested. Now DirecTV Now streaming does not count against that 22 gigabyte counter. This is great. You can stream all you want on DirecTV Now and you'll never run into that throttling slowdown and have your favorite show slow down during prime time because you're now on a congested tower. This is great, but there are a couple catches you need to be aware of. One is, if for any reason any other app you use uses up that 22 gigabytes, DirecTV Now is still subject to network management. Once you've crossed that threshold for any reason with any other app, everything is slowed down after 22 gigabytes. It's just DirecTV Now doesn't run up the counter. So be careful if you're streaming Netflix. Netflix will blow through that data really fast, and you switch back to DirecTV Now, you might be in the congested zone. The other interesting catch is that you have to be watching with the DirecTV Now app on a phone or a tablet. If you're using, let's say for example you subscribe to HBO, you can watch HBO inside the DirecTV Now app, but if you prefer the HBO app and you want to switch over and use the HBO app for a better interface and more controls, you can't do that. That data will count against your 22 gigabyte limit. So it's data free only inside the DirecTV Now app. And that also means you can use HDMI out, you can use Mirrorcast wireless output, but you can't use things like Apple's AirPlay or Google's Chromecast to send the display wirelessly to another device, because then you're no longer using your on-device data. So got to use the app, got to do it on your phone, but you can then have HDMI out. And then one final catch is AT&T and DirecTV are limiting the app to 480p video resolution when you're streaming over mobile connection. So you're not going to get HD even though you're going out an HDMI out cable, but the quality is very good compression. It is actually looking really good. So that's the latest on AT&T and DirecTV Now. This policy also applies to AT&T's new Watch TV video streaming service, which has just come out, bundled in with the new At More plans. So if you're interested in streaming, interested in DirecTV Now and interested in AT&T, this is an interesting combination to go pursue.